Will housing affordability become an issue? Now, very good morning. This is a topic which I get every single time. Every single time I talk to a client, all they tell me about is how the prices have gone up and up and up. Yeah, it's like a rocket, it's going up. But here's the thing, will it become affordable and will the affordability become an issue? I think that's what we need to focus on today. And the last couple of days, Straits Times has been publishing a series of articles talking about the cost factor and how it's becoming an issue for millennials. Now, I wrote about it on my Facebook page, SG Happy Homes, and ever since I wrote that piece, I've got a ton of messages and calls coming in and asking me, Sean, what can I do about it? Now, I thought since this issue is quite current on everyone's mind, why not do a simple video about it? At the end of the day, I can't provide all the solutions for you. But here's the thing. At least I can give you a background to what is happening so that tomorrow, if another article is being published, you would have the clarity in your mind to see this issue through and decide for yourself whether there's something you can do about it. I think that's the least I could do. Hi, I'm Sean. I've been a real estate consultant for the last 10 years. I've been helping all my clients get a very clear vision to what real estate is about and what they could do about it and achieve the dreams which they want to. Now let's move on to this topic. You see, Straits Times publish articles on real estate every now and then. I think it really depends on what their publishing schedule is about and what are the issues which affects people, and whenever there's a hot button issue, they will always publish more articles about it. That's how they get people interested to read newspapers, and newspapers are not charity, right? So this particular article caught my attention because the caption is very, very interesting. The dream to buy a home, even if it isn't a dream home. So here's the thing. Today, more and more people are having the feeling that they do not get to buy their dream home because they are compromising on something. Okay, so that is something which they are trying to highlight down here, that look, with the cost going up, you don't have much choices out there. You can't really put down your dollar and tell that this is what I dream of and this is what I'm getting. Well, in a larger sense, I don't think anyone else is living in their dream home per se, at least for the most of us. Every one of us are trying to live with compromises and space limitations, budget limitations and things like that. So I don't really think this is the main crux of the issue because of the whole housing scheme itself and the fact that developers and builders will usually put out units based on requirements of population and housing. And I think that's the driving force behind how homes are going to be spaced out, how a home's going to be priced. Now, the other thing, of course, affordability. Okay, affordability is a big question down here. I want to go into this topic a little bit more detail later by talking about how people's affordability has changed and people's perception of affordability has changed along the time. But today's young people are having this crunch that, let's not talk about young people, even people of my age group and many more are finding affordability an issue. Now, the question, is it really affordability, or is it because we have a range of things to pay for today that we are allocating a lesser amount for real estate? Again, hold that thought in your mind. I'll review some numbers later and you will see how this will pan out in a short moment. Here's another one where they say Singapore has always been sensitive to cost of living issues. We should expect housing costs to continue weigh on people's mind and on election behavior. Yes, this is always true because Singapore is one of the most expensive cities in the world. And let's face the fact. We are the most expensive city in the world. Everything is going to cost more here. A car which costs 100,000, you have to pay a COE of today even up to 80,000 just to own the car. So cost of living is high. Singapore has only land as a natural resource, and land is the most precious form of natural resource we have. So price will always be on the up. Okay, these are the articles. Okay, now let's move on to the key questions I have on these issues. And probably this will be on your mind as well, and this should frame how you think moving forward. Question number one, is this new? Number 2, will the price continue to go up? Number 3, what can you do right now? Okay, is this new? Before we tackle that question, let's look at this interesting article. In 2017, CNBC published an article where Morgan Stanley predicted Singapore property prices to double by 2030. Are they being ludicrous? I don't think so. The price is already moving there. 2017, we did not have COVID. So remember that 2017, no one knew what COVID-19 was. 2 years later, towards December, we were slammed with COVID-19. The whole year of 2020 and 2021 was riddled with COVID restrictions, COVID movement restrictions, entry restrictions, social distancing, social gatherings were limited, show fairs were closed for a good part of the year. And even right now, you can't just walk into a showroom like that. You have to make an appointment, you have to go down, they will show your vaccine status and things like that. So, when they predicted 2030 for the prices to double, they didn't understand that, or they didn't know that COVID-19 is going to hit in a couple of years' time. But then again, during COVID-19, did the price go down? Today, while we are still struggling with reopening, we are talking about affordability issue. We are not talking about, prices are crashing, the market is creating a bubble right now. No, we're not talking about that. We are talking about price still going up. Now look at the sales transactions since 2006 right up to 2021. The price has been on an upward trend. And if you take a look, there was a little bit of a market correction towards the COVID year. Market correction meaning that there were some properties which the sales data and transaction trend went down. This is transaction trend, so it shows a dip in the number of transactions. And now it's picking up. I mean, you look at the number of HDB flats being transacted at 1 million and above. In the past, it used to be just 20 or 25 a year. Just November alone this year, we have 29. And the month before, It's becoming a norm now. That only shows one thing. In the past, there were very limited flats in the about to touch 1 million bracket. Today, a lot more flats are entering in the about to reach 1 million bracket. That is why they're transacting higher, which only means one thing: the prices are going up. And what do you expect the price to go after you reopen? Definitely much higher. I think everyone knows this. I mean, everyone can say, no, it will not happen for this and that and all that, but guys, face the fact. If COVID haven't hit down your property price, what else will? Now, let me give you a little bit of a background into income statistics. Okay, look at this chart. All these are taken from SingStats, by the way. You can go and do your own verification. You see that the number of population who are age 25 and over, and their educational profile over a short span of 10 years, you will see that there are a lot more graduates today, a lot more diploma holders today. The only ones which are lowering, the numbers which are lowering, are the below secondary and the secondary education people. Which means today a lot more the younger generation is getting better education, which means their starting salaries are going to be better. If you take a look at the real income growth over the last span of 5 years, okay, 2014 to 2019, you can see that the median household income has gone up. The median individual per household member income has gone up. Home ownership in Singapore has always been very strong. We are about 90% home ownership right now. So if you take a look at that, let's talk about relative household income increase. From 2020 to 2020, from 2000 to 2020, you can see an increase of 109% of your Singapore household income. We started off with an average of $4,398 per household in 2020. Today, we are at $9,189. That's a big jump over a span of 20 years. Okay, let's look at another interesting chart. This shows the Singapore household sector balance sheet. What this means is, what is the household valued at in terms of a national average, and the average breakdown of the assets and liabilities. Of course, this is a very wide spread of the top earners and the median earners and the bottom earners. But on average, if you take a look at how much people are worth today, that has gone up like at least 4 times. Sorry, at least 5 times now. If you take a look at that, 2,448,000. Yeah, that about 4 to 5 times. Okay, so people today are valued a lot more than what we were 20 years ago. Your income has increased. Your cost of goods have increased. Okay, the cost of your groceries has gone up. Cost of transportation has gone up. How will the housing price remain low? Right? Doesn't make sense, correct? It has to go up because of inflation. Now, let's look at another key trend which is going on. Okay, we tend to forget that there are people out there with money who will be able to pick up the tab and move on. Who are these people? Other than your regular income earners, we also have this group called the en bloc population. You see, in 2017 and 2018, there were quite a bit of how do I put it, en bloc going around. Okay, what's the value of this? Simply put, in 2017, the total value of en bloc deals which went on was $8.7 billion. In the first half of 2018, this figure was $9.87 billion. So simply put, there are people as of 2018 with $19 billion to go and buy their next real estate. Where would they go and buy? They'll go and buy wherever they want. And how will the price go down when you have people with this much liquidity in the market to buy up properties? You take a look, Pasir Ris 8. First day itself is almost sold out. So we talk about Pasir Ris 8, right? Almost sold out the whole day. Okay, the price increased by I think 4 times throughout the entire day. Now let's look at Canning Hill Piers. This is the one which is the old Liang Court. First day itself 70%, and we're not talking about a neighborhood type of condo launch. We're talking about prime area, River Valley, Clarke Quay. 77% sold on the first day itself, not even first weekend, first day itself. Where do you think this money is coming from? It's not always foreign money, We just don't realize how much local money we have inside here. Okay. Let's make it a little bit more simpler to understand this. Okay. If you have been to your car park in the last 10 years, you would see this difference happening. Okay, let me show this. Look at the increase of the number of luxury cars and supercars in the last 10 years. If you today go into your car park, in the past, you would see more Japanese cars, Korean cars than continental cars. But today, I think it's almost 60-40 or even 70-30, 60-40. In some neighborhoods, almost 50-50. These are facts from SingStats. The number of luxury cars and supercars have increased exponentially. But we are not seeing them. They're just right in front of us. We stare at them when they drive past. But we don't realize that, hey, aren't we seeing more Ferraris today? Aren't we seeing more Mercedes-Benz today? Aren't we seeing more Lamborghinis today? We are. We are just not taking note of this. Right? So guys, these are things which are already happening right now. Okay, it's not something new. It is right in front of our faces. We have not seen this right in front of our faces. That's all. So it's not something new. It is happening. Will prices go up? Yes, prices will have to go up. So listen to me, price will have to go up. There's no way the price will come down. All your cooling measures were never designed to bring the price down. It is to create price stability and to not create a bubble in the market. That is very, very clear. What you can do about it right now? Well, it really depends on you. Well, there are many people out there who think that the price is very expensive and they miss the boat. I meet a lot of people in my line of work. So I've got people who tell me that, Sean, 5 years ago when I wanted to buy that particular property, it was very expensive. So I asked them, if I can rewind the clock back today, will you go and buy it? And they said, oh yeah, of course I will. Why would you not buy it 5 years ago? And if I were to rewind the clock right now, you would buy it? Then they get stuck and they're saying, because at that time I thought it was expensive. Well, friends, at any point in time, whether the price is expensive, on par or above market, whatever you think, does not really matter. Because that is the price at that point in time. Remember, price is a number. If you allow the number to shape your perception, to shape what you're about to do for yourself, you're just going to shortchange yourself, because price is just a number. At the end of the day, what's important is taking action. Okay, if you are someone who think the price is too high, if you think the condos today are very, very small, I hear this a lot also. No, what's the point of buying? I need the space. The condos today are very, very small. And the other group will say, what's the point of seeing so many facilities in a condo when I don't use them? Maybe I use a swimming pool like 3 times in a year. I probably go to the gym. Tennis court, I don't even play tennis. I don't even have a tennis racket. So why would all this be appealing to me? And then, of course, the other people who are a little bit more conservative, a little bit more dollar savvy will say, I don't know if I can pay the monthly mortgage. It's quite a big risk for me to take. There are many questions like this. At the end of the day, what's important is always assess what you can do first. You see, what you can do and what you want to do is 2 different things. What you can do, I can help you see that. Because there are various ways to look at this from a statistical standpoint, from a numbers standpoint, from a cash flow standpoint, from a risk management standpoint. When I work with clients, I actually do all these intense calculations where we work on their cash flow, we work on their monthly mortgage, we work on their affordability, we work on their lifestyle choices. We also work on risk components, like what happens if one of you just lose their job. Are you still able to make that payment? And if you are, how? What is your safety nets? What's your safety umbrellas? These are things which we put in place. So yes, I might not be able to find answers for every one of you to help you do whatever you can. And yes, some of you might say that, look, this is not for me. I respect that. That is still your choice. It is your money after all. But then again, if you are someone who thinks that these are the issues are facing you, but you have not sought a professional opinion. When I say professional opinion, these are people who really take their job seriously, who do the calculations for their client, who handhold them and walk with them with track record. We're not talking about the salesperson who come down there and sells you things. Guys, I don't sell you something. I don't sell you a house. I teach you how to go about doing it. If you think that I have what it takes to help you, I would like to meet up with you and see what I can do for you. Like I said, I may not have all the solutions for you, but I'll try to help you wherever I can. Scan this QR code right now and you can reach out to me by WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and catch you guys very soon.